Hey guys, welcome back. As you can see, obviously this is going to be a little bit different from the way I usually show videos. This is actually my 100th video on YouTube for comic books. And to celebrate that, I'm going to give a present to myself of not putting my ugly mug in front of the camera. And obviously a present to everybody else that watches. But anyway, just got a kind of a small haul. I know a lot of you guys are fans of the horror genre, and there's too many of you to name. I mean, you know who you are. Anybody that loves horror comics and magazines will enjoy this. But there's some books. First ones that came out in the 80s from Eclipse Comics. It's the Twisted Tales of Bruce Jones. And anybody that's read the old Warren black and whites knows how good this guy is. I mean, he did the writing, did the art, just did some beautiful stuff. And I think he even did a couple. Maybe a couple, 3 stories in the just the Twisted Tales series from Pacific Comics that came out. I think that was like a 10-issue series, and I just love that one. And I had one of these already, but a guy was selling them like the whole set. There's only 4 of these, but I got them for a good price. But you can see number 1 there. Sorry about the glare, but just a beautiful, beautiful cover. Number 1 with a giant spider there. Okay, number 2, another great Bruce Jones cover. Like I say, if you're a fan of horror, and if you're a fan of the Warren stuff and EC and a lot of later stuff he did, I mean, his books are great. And number 3, another great cover. Just beautiful artwork in these. Great stories. And number 4, I took this one out of the bag because I want to, well, I actually want to show some of the art, but you know, this is just beautiful stuff here. You know, Jones, he's just a great storyteller. Okay, here's the thing I really wanted to show you. Kind of, and I forgot about this, but it kind of made me smile. Here's a Jack Kirby petition, and this is where you would sign this. And of course, you can read it. I, the undersigned, believe that Marvel Comics should place no conditions upon the immediate return of Jack Kirby's original art. I regret Marvel's shameful treatment of and ingratitude towards its most inspired, imaginative, and productive founding father, without whom there might not be a Marvel Comics today. Furthermore, I wish to express my appreciation and love for Jack Kirby, who by his unparalleled talent and his lifelong devotion to comic book art, enriched the lives of comic readers everywhere. Of course, you know, it sounds a little biased towards Kirby, which I have no problem with, but I just thought this was kind of cool. I'd forgotten about this. I just thought, all you Kirby fans, this might be something you want to see. And, you know, where Jack was trying to get a lot of his original artwork back. And he did get quite a bit. Not all of it, but yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. There's some more art. Okay, it's getting into a little erotica there. Nothing wrong with that. And especially on this inside of the cover here. Don't show your kids. Okay, that's all those. Okay, I know a lot of you are big fans of the Spirit, and I just kind of got into getting some reprints of Eisner's work, and the guy is just a master storyteller. I mean, I would say if anybody wanted to start out and learn how to tell a story in comic form along with Kirby, and you know, a lot of others, but especially Eisner, I mean, you really need to look at these books. Just beautiful art in these. There's number 24. This came out from Kitchen Sink Press, or Enterprises, I guess. Probably started around the mid-70s into the early 80s on this. Showing a lot of his reprints. There's another one. I'll just let you look at that. It's just a great cover. I always love the way he did the logo, incorporated into the first panel of the splash page or the story. I know, I think Hippie might be a big fan of Spirit. I know Sleepy Reader is, 666. probably a lot of other guys. Those are the only two that came to mind right now. So Tom and Damien, this one's for you. That was number 20. What was that? Number 18. First one was 24. I guess I should tell the numbers, huh? Okay, this one was 17. Another very cool cover. I just left this one out of the bag just to kind of show you some of the artwork. Just panel to panel, the guy was just a great storyteller. And there's a beautiful page. Yeah, I'm going to have to put this down or I'm going to start reading it, and there's nothing more boring than somebody doing a video of themselves reading. Okay, here's some little known Warren stuff. It came out in the early 80s, some black and white stuff called The Goblin, and it's got a lot of really weird stuff in it. I mean, you got some great artists. I think there was some art in there by Rudy Nebres, and I think he used to work for Continuity Associates with Neil Adams. I think he did a lot of the continuity comics. But there's some really cool stories in here. Like I say, all black and white. I just love the colors on this. And I got these for a song. Really didn't even know they existed until a few months ago, and I started trying to track them down. I think there just might have been three issues, so kind of cool. And there's number 2. I think it's a Rudy Nebres. I'm knocking all my stuff down. It's another Rudy Nebres cover, I think. Yeah. Sorry about the glare again. Okay. And it's number 3. And the reason I left this one out of the bag, I want to show some more artwork. In this one you actually have Luis Bermeo, Lee Sale, Abel Lexana, and 2 that you probably know is the Rudy Nebres and Alex Nino, which is one of my all-time favorites. I just want to show you some of this art on the Goblin. It was two artists incorporated into one story. You can kind of see the artist that drew the figures, and then all the background stuff. I mean, fans of Nino, you know his work. I mean, he's just incredible on the detail. I mean, it's just like a surrealistic dream or a sci-fi nightmare in everything he does. And I mean, it's just beautiful. I would have bought this just for these 2-page spreads. I mean, look at this. I mean, wow. All this black and white stuff really goes underappreciated. I know a lot of people really like superheroes, but it's kind of nice to expand your horizons. And here's some more gorgeous work. Yeah, I looked through this earlier and I was just like, wow, on every page. I mean, look, here's another example. One of my collecting goals is to have a piece of Nino's original art. Now this is probably my favorite. Just beautiful stuff. Okay, and the last book I have here is something you don't see very often. This is from Pacific Comics, Raj 2000 or Rogue 2000, and this is actually reprints of a backup feature that John Byrne did in the old E-Man comic from Charlton back around 74, 75 maybe. And I'm sure they were in color, and I've probably got 3 or 4 of them because I've got, you know, I think that series only ran like 10 issues, the E-Man series, and I think it was like in issue 6, 7, 9, and 10, and this reprints the whole so-called saga of this little happy-go-lucky robot. And I think Byrne kind of incorporated himself and a few of the other guys he was working with into the story. I'll show you here in a second. Wet my whistle. But this, like I say, this is a reprint of a color series, but it's in black and white. I'm just assuming I can't remember if it was originally in color or not. It might be, but like I said, it's a wraparound cover. You can tell this is early Byrne, but I still love it. I think it's him probably right there. Kind of looks like him. Anyway, got a great wraparound cover. You got a title page. Byrne lives in Canada, which is straight ahead. Pretty cool. It's just some great early work by one of my favorites, and I know a lot of you other guys like Byrne stuff. And here's how to draw Rogi 2000 or Raji 2000. Kind of reminiscent of some of the stuff DC and Marvel put out on You Can Draw Spider-Man or You Can Draw Flash. And they've got some cool little articles by the writers, Nicola Cuddy, who did a whole lot of work from Charlton. And I think some of the other guys involved in this story, Larry Bernicki, Bob Layton, Roger Slipher, Roger Stern, and Duffy Volland. I think they all kind of make appearances in here. That's probably Byrne himself. What's kind of cool here, you got a character in the background. I guess they're coming through some kind of portal. And he says, "Oops, wrong strip," and it looks like Orion of the New Gods. So, I think this is just a great little series. There's only like 4 stories, but you know, any early fan of Byrne's or anything, I guess, like a lot of us like the eclectic or esoteric stuff, you know, this is kind of cool. So, a little bit more there. Pretty cool book. I got one more thing I want to show you, and I might have to turn my camera for this. I'm not sure, though. My iPad, I'm not sure. But I was on Facebook, and I really not on there a whole lot. But you know, there's a lot of comic groups, so I ended up joining probably 25 different comic groups. I mean, it was like Back Issue Magazine. They have a Facebook page, and I think it's what got me started. They have, you know, pages devoted to everything and everybody in comics. You know, I joined a lot of 60s and 70s pages and 80s, and fans of Kirby, fans of Ditko, fans of Neil Adams, just anything and everything. But somebody was talking about the old the Justice League comic, which is, you know, my absolute favorite team. That along with the Justice Society and all that. And fans of George Perez and fans of the stuff he was doing with the Justice League back then will really love this, because somebody was showing a 2-page spread from Justice League of America 195, and it was like almost like a big pinup. You know, you had the Justice League on one side and the Golden Age Justice Society on the other side. You know, they're in the JLA satellite, and I said, man, that would make a cool poster. And I think another guy had made another comment, and a guy gave him a link to somebody on eBay, and there was actually a print of that. And I looked, and of course somebody had snatched it up, and then the seller was actually Tom Smith. And I know a lot of you guys are fans of the colorists. I know Damien, Sleepy Reader, is. And a lot of the stuff, you know, he didn't originally color, but I mean, there's all kinds of prints by Perez, you know, of DC and Marvel characters, Thanos and Avengers, Superman, Batman, the X-Men. I mean, there's just tons of stuff on there. And they made a lot of those like panels and covers and centerfolds into prints. And Tom Smith has recolored them, because I think Carl Gafford was probably the original colorist on this. But anyway, I'll stop jabbering about it and kind of show it to you. I'm going to have to... Okay, it's a little bit better. But this is just an awesome, awesome print. And the recoloring on it is just beautiful. I mean, this is some of the best color I've ever seen. But this is my version of what the Justice League and the Justice Society be. I mean, there's a few members missing, and by this time, the Earth 2 Batman had died. Well, you know, pre-Crisis and pre-52 and all that mess. But there you have the classic version of the JLA, even Snapper Carr, snapping his fingers down there. But this is just a beautiful piece of work by Perez. You got the Golden Age Superman, Star Spangled Kid, the original Adam, Johnny Thunder and his Thunderbolt. Just all the classic characters. And best thing is, Smith autographed it before he sent it to me. So this is really a cool print. And anybody that's interested, I think his seller's name on eBay is probably, I think it's Tom's Color. Because actually he didn't have any more of these for sale, and I just sent him a personal message saying if you had any more of these, I would be happy to buy one. You know, and I think they have an auction price, and then there's a buy now price. And but he told me, he said, well, I'm going to put one up today. So as soon as he put it up, I snatched it. So this is definitely going up on my wall. This is going to, I'm sure, be one of my favorite pieces. But anyway, guys, appreciate you watching. Appreciate all the comments. Shout out. Oh yeah, and I know someone else will like this. I know Howler Mouse. He's a big fan of the old DC and George Perez, and this was actually featured in one of his last videos as far as like favorite storylines. JLA 195 through 197, and another guy I just discovered recently, Crew 2000. He's a big Justice League fan, just as big or bigger than I am. I found out, and he's just several issues away from having the original series too. So shout out to him, and thanks for watching, guys. Onward and upward.